Hello everyone, today I'm going to be talking about how art school did me dirty in the final semester of my senior year. I'm not going to name any names or name any schools. You can find the school pretty easily if you really need to know, but it's not an issue anymore, so it's like, don't take it too seriously. So to put it simply, your final semester of your senior year of college, you get the opportunity to put up a small show on the wall. Obviously not so much if you're film, but like photography, illustration, comics, blah, blah, blah. For illustration and comic and painting, fine arts, I'm pretty sure it's required. And then for people like animation and film and photography, I think that might be required as well. Not quite sure. You have the opportunity to apply for a wall space. I applied for a wall space because I was gonna rent a TV, put up some character designs, put up some of my comic work, make a show, you know. And they denied my request. And I was like, okay, that's really weird. So I went and talked to some more animators, and apparently they denied every animation student's request because they suddenly decided this semester, without letting anyone know or asking us, that animation students no longer get walls. I was angry at first, and I was like, okay, maybe they have a big class this year and they don't have enough wall space. So I looked around. They tape off wall space as soon as they put the wall selections out. They tape off the space so students can start looking how they want to set up their wall. So I went and looked around. There was beyond more than enough space for the animation students that applied for wall space. There was a whole hall they could have put us in. So then I thought, maybe there's not enough TVs. At the school I attended, they have a media center place where you can rent cameras, TVs, recording equipment, whatever technology you want to name it, they probably have it there. So I went and asked them, like, are you guys running out of TVs to rent to students for their senior walls? Also a no, they had plenty of TVs because nobody but animators and film students need TVs for their wall space. So I was like, okay, why aren't we getting wall spaces? This is bizarre. We deserve wall spaces just like the rest. We should have been asked. Having a wall space set up, a show set up, allows you to get jobs even because people walk around, whether they're just family members of other students or not. They're still walking around. Your professors walk around. People that didn't have you in class walk around. So like there's job opportunities in this as well. So after finding out that we weren't getting walls for pretty much no reason, I talked to a couple of my teachers and they had no idea this was going on. So I went to the next level, which was the head of the department, and I asked her why we weren't getting walls. And the only thing they could tell me was that they weren't giving animation students walls, and instead, well, they did this before, but instead we were getting put on a reel with the film students. So think about this for just a second. Imagine how long a film student's final senior project that they spent all year on could be. Now think of how long an animation student working alone project could be. Yeah, does not work out. The film students could have half an hour long thing, and then you want to throw a barely 2-minute animation in between those. You would think it's a commercial break. Like that's not a good way to do it. And they were showing these on loop on the 3rd floor when all of the rest of the shows are on the 1st and 2nd floor. So nobody's even going to walk up there without specific instruction that there is something to see up there, much less sit through 45 minutes of film to get to like maybe the 2 minutes of animation the students had done. The other thing they were very excited about was doing a showing of the film and animation students' work after graduation and during the reception, which is all good. That they've done before and they continue to do. But once again, the issue with that is you have the film students where one of them was literally a half an hour, so people left before they even got to the animations. In my opinion, that wasn't fair because they didn't talk to us. And they didn't let us know, and they let us apply for wall space and like think we had that opportunity and then just deny us all and not tell us why. So I talked to the department head. She told me all that, and I was like, we need wall spaces. We deserve wall space. There's still wall space left. Can we change this and get wall space? And I was just told no. So then I was like, this shouldn't end here. This was the first semester they decided not to give animation students wall space, and it was the last as well. That's why I'm saying it's not a big deal anymore. I went to the student advisor person, because even if it wasn't necessarily their thing, they did work a lot with students. So I went and talked to them, and to see if they had any more information for me or like what my next steps should be. And she didn't really have anything to say, but it was worth trying. So then I set up a meeting with the president of the institution, and I met with them and I told them what was going on, and they had no idea that this decision had been made, and they had no idea what was going on. So I made my point, I made my argument. I said it was inappropriate to give like the last semester, so the fall semester's senior students who we saw, animation students senior walls, and then deny us walls after letting us apply for them and all that fun stuff. And he seemed to agree with me. I don't really know. He didn't. I found out later that he was leaving the institution, so he probably didn't care at that point. So after talking to the president, I tried to meet up with the department head of the animation. See, she was the department head of the media, so that was photography, film, and animation. So I tried to go and talk to her again, but she wasn't there during office hours, and then she was ignoring my emails, and she just didn't want to talk to me about it, which was really frustrating. But luckily for me, my friend had no spatial comprehension, and she requested 15 feet of wall space when she needed about 6-7. So I just asked her if I could have some of her wall space, and she was like, please, because I can't fill it all up. So we rented a TV out under her name. I set up my show. I was ready to go, and then all of a sudden the media head department wanted to talk to me. So then it was the opposite game of me avoiding her, and thankfully every teacher I talked to was on my side, especially my comic teacher, who was my favorite teacher there by far. She let me know when the department head was coming around so I could be out of the way. I set up my show after hours when they were all gone. It sounds like I was doing something really bad, but I was just fighting for what I thought was right. And in the end, my show was up. It stayed up. I played my animations on repeat, only my animations on repeat with my information in my comic there, so it was available for people that wanted it for any reason. I had my business cards out. I had all that stuff. I forgot to mention the showing after the fact. They had one spot on a wall where they wanted every animation student to put up their poster and their business cards, which is just clumping every animation student together on a singular wall. It's just not good. During my trials, I also stood up in my classes and I informed all of the other animation students, especially the ones in the years below me, what was happening and that they should start their fight now for the walls if they felt like that was something they wanted to do. And they get wall space now, so they tried something, and I was pretty much the only student that fought for it, but I'm very glad I did, because it has allowed the next generation of animation students to get their walls and set their work apart from everyone else's. Okay, so that's it for that one. Remember to like the video if you like this content. I know it was just me rambling about college, but and subscribe if you want to see more. Thank you so much. Bye.